Hey, what's going on, everyone? Hope we're doing great today. Happy Wednesday. We got 16 matchups on this MLB slate today, so be sure to like and subscribe. Check out all my betting links in the description below to get in on the action today. And also go ahead and become a member, support the channel. Love to have you guys be a part of the community. And also go ahead and sign up with Bro Throw, guys. Super awesome place to go hang out. Not a sports book. You're going to get the cheapest lines, no house, just peer-to-peer betting, guys. Super awesome. I have a free private betting group on BroThrow. So go ahead and sign up in there. I'll be posting plays this weekend. Had a rough weekend for the teasers. Just didn't hit, and we're going to bounce back again this week heavy. So, yeah. Big slate today as we already have the playoffs set up. No matchups tomorrow. And I do believe the playoffs start Friday, I believe. So this is the last games of the season today. Starting with the Los Angeles Angels versus the Oakland Athletics. Angels opening up as road favorites at minus 245. Oakland plus 200 with the over-under at 7. Pitching for the Angels is Shohei Ohtani with an ERA of 2.35. His last start, he pitched 8 innings. Gave up 0 runs, had 10 strikeouts. He's given up 2 runs in his last 3 starts. Pitching for Oakland is Ken Waldichuk with an ERA of 6.18. His last start, he pitched 5 innings. Gave up 1 run, had 8 strikeouts. He's given up 10 runs in his last 3 starts. Angels on a 2-game losing streak against Oakland here. Oakland coming into this on a 3-game winning streak. I'm taking Angels on the road. Love Ohtani on the mound. I think they definitely want to close the season out on a good note. Beating Oakland here, and I think I'm going to take the Angels on the road. Next matchup, we got the New York Yankees versus the Texas Rangers. Yankees opening up as road favorites at minus 135. The Rangers plus 125 with the over-under at 7.5. Pitching for the Yankees is Domingo Yerman with an ERA of 3.31. His last start, he pitched 5 innings, gave up 2 runs, had 6 strikeouts. He's given up 5 runs in his last 3 starts. Pitching for the Rangers is Glenn Otto with an ERA of 4.72. His last start, he pitched 6 innings, gave up 3 runs, had 7 strikeouts. He's given up 8 runs in his last 3 starts. Yankees back-to-back wins against the Rangers. Rangers on a 7-game losing streak right now. Yeah, we're taking the Yankees on the road. Look, to close the season out on a good note as I head into the playoffs here. I'm going to take the Yankees on the road. All right. Next matchup, we got the Arizona Diamondbacks versus the Milwaukee Brewers. Brewers opening up as home favorites at minus 175. Arizona plus 145 with the over-under at 7. Pitching for the Diamondbacks is Merrill Kelly with an ERA of 3.43. His last start, he pitched 4 innings, gave up 8 runs, had 2 strikeouts. Pitching for the Brewers is Corbin Burns with an ERA of 3.12. His last start, he pitched 8 innings, gave up 0 runs, had 7 strikeouts. Burns has given up 7 runs in his last 3 starts. Kelly's given up 15. Brewers beating Arizona yesterday 6-5. Yeah, I like the Brewers at home here. Corbin coming off a nice start on the mound. Merrill Kelly been very bad these last few games here. I'll take the Brewers at home. Next matchup, we got the Chicago Cubs versus the Cincinnati Reds. Cubs opening up road favorites at minus 120. The Reds plus 100 with the over-under at 8. Pitching for the Cubs is Adrian Sampson with an ERA of 3.10. His last start, he pitched 7 innings, gave up 1 run, had 6 strikeouts. He's given up 3 runs in his last 3 starts. Pitching for the Reds is Graham Ashcraft with an ERA of 4.52. His last start, he pitched 2 innings, gave up 5 runs, had 1 strikeout. He's given up 12 runs in his last 3 starts here. Cubs losing to the Reds yesterday 3-1, but still Been very good these last 2 weeks. 7-1 in their last 8. Yeah, that was the Reds' first win in a while. And I love Sampson on the mound here. I'm taking Cubs on the road. Next matchup, we got the Detroit Tigers versus the Seattle Mariners. Seattle opening up as home favorites at -235. Detroit +185 with the over-under at 7. Pitching for Detroit is Tyler Alexander with an ERA of 4.72. His last start, he pitched 5 innings. Gave up 3 runs, had 6 strikeouts. He's given up 4 runs in his last 3 starts. Pitching for Seattle is Marco Gonzalez with an ERA of 4.14. His last start, he pitched 5 innings. Gave up 4 runs, had 4 strikeouts. He's given up 12 runs in his last 3 starts. Seattle winning 9-6, back-to-back wins against Detroit here. And yeah, I like Seattle to close the season out on a good note as they head into the playoffs here. And I'm going to roll with Seattle at home. Next matchup, we got the Kansas City Royals versus the Cleveland Guardians. Cleveland opening up as home favorites at -175. The Royals +160 with the over-under at 7.5. Pitching for the Royals is Jonathan Heasley with an ERA of 5.00. His last start, he pitched 4 innings, gave up 4 runs, had 1 strikeout. He's given up 5 runs in his last 3 starts. Pitching for the Guardians is Aaron Savale with an ERA of 5.04. His last start, he pitched 6 innings, gave up 2 runs, had 5 strikeouts. He's given up 6 runs in his last 3 starts here. Cleveland losing to Kansas City yesterday 5-2. And I'm going to take Cleveland at home here. Close, it's the last game of the season. A lot of these teams can, get a nice win as they head into the playoffs, build some momentum. And I like the Guardians to do that here. And we're going to take Cleveland at home. Next matchup, we got the Minnesota Twins versus the Chicago White Sox. White Sox opening up as road favorites at -135. The Twins +115 with the over-under at a 7.5. Pitching for the Twins is Louis Varland with an ERA of 4.71. His last start, he pitched 5 innings, gave up 2 runs, had 3 strikeouts. He's given up 9 runs in his last 3 starts. Pitching for the White Sox is Davis Martin with an ERA of 3.65. His last start, he pitched 5 innings, gave up 1 run, had 8 strikeouts. He's given up 5 runs in his last 3 starts. And Minnesota on a 4-game losing streak, back-to-back losses against the White Sox. Haven't looked good these last few games here. White Sox on a 3-game winning streak. Minnesota 1-8 on the road. Yeah, hasn't been a good road team here. And I do like Davis Martin on the mound, and I think I'm going to take the White Sox at home in this one. Next matchup, we got the Philadelphia Phillies versus the Houston Astros. Astros opening up as home favorites at -185. The Phillies +155 with the over-under at 7.5. Pitching for the Phillies is Bailey Falter with an ERA of 3.90. His last start, he pitched 6 innings, gave up 0 runs, had 6 strikeouts. He's given up 7 runs in his last 3 starts. Pitching for the Astros is Framber Valdez with an ERA of 2.84. His last start, he pitched 5 innings, gave up 6 runs, had 2 strikeouts, given up 12 runs in his last 3 starts. Houston coming off a 10-0 win against Philly. Very nice showing for Houston. Philly 4-9 on the road. Haven't been the best road team here. And yeah, I like the Astros at home, coming off a nice shutout win yesterday. And I think I'm gonna take the Astros at home here again. Next matchup, we got the Tampa Bay Rays versus the Boston Red Sox. Tampa Bay opening up as road favorites at -120. Boston +105 with the over-under at 8. Pitching for the Rays is Josh Fleming with an ERA of 6.23. His last start, he pitched 3 innings, Gave up 5 runs, had 1 strikeout. He's given up 18 runs in his last 3 starts. Pitching for Boston is Nick Pivetta with an ERA of 4.56. His last start, he pitched 5 innings, gave up 4 runs, had 2 strikeouts. He's given up 12 runs in his last 3 starts. Fleming's given up 18. Tampa on a 4-game losing streak, back-to-back losses against Boston here. Yeah, don't love Fleming on the mound. He's been very bad here. Pivetta's been giving up a lot of runs too, so I think the over's probably a good play. But yeah, I'll take a shot with Boston plus 1.5 at home. Next matchup, we got the Colorado Rockies versus the Los Angeles Dodgers. Dodgers opening up as home favorites at minus 400. The Rockies plus 355 with the over-under at 7.5. Don't have any info on the Rockies, but pitching for the Dodgers is Clayton Kershaw with an ERA of 2.30. He's 11-3. Been great this season. Colorado, though, on a 3-game winning streak against the Dodgers here, where they've been just winning straight up, kind of crazy. But yeah, I'm loving the Dodgers. We'll see who pitches for the Rockies here. But last game of the season, I don't think Dodgers want to come off on a losing note against the Rockies, the way this series has looked here. And, we're taking Dodgers on the bounce back. Haven't won the last few games against Colorado, but I think they bounce back here to end the season. And we're going to take the Dodgers at home. All right, next matchup, we got a doubleheader between the Toronto Blue Jays versus the Baltimore Orioles. Guys, this is crazy. With these last 6 matchups that I do have, I just can't find any lines on them. So MLB's definitely slacking big time today with these lines and a lot of the pitching info. But I do have the pitching info. Pitching for the Blue Jays is Mitch White with an ERA of 5.21. He's 0-6. His last start, he pitched 3 innings, gave up 3 runs, had 1 strikeout, given up 11 runs in his last 3 starts. Pitching for the Orioles is Mike Baumann with an ERA of 4.34. His last start, he pitched 4 innings, gave up 2 runs, had 2 strikeouts. He's given up 7 runs in his last 3 starts. Yeah, this game was postponed, so it seems he didn't play yesterday at all. Yeah, a lot of players were resting on Tuesday. I don't see anything about them resting today here. And Toronto did win the last matchup 5-1. I think I'm gonna take Baltimore plus 1.5 at home. I'm sure they're gonna be underdogs, but Mitch White's been very bad on the mound for Toronto here, giving up a lot of runs. I think the over is probably a good play, and I'm gonna take Baltimore plus 1.5 in game 1. And then game 2 for the Toronto Blue Jays and Baltimore Orioles. The only info I have on this game, guys, is that pitching for Baltimore is Spencer Watkins with an ERA of 4.76. That's the only info I have on this matchup here. Maybe when all this info does come out, someone can post that in the comments. That would be cool. But yeah, MLB just slacking big time today. And I'm definitely probably going to stay away from this doubleheader, to be honest. I think the game 1 is definitely the game to bet on here. So this game, I'm just going to put a question, some asterisks next to it. And we'll see what happens in this game 2. Next matchup, we got the St. Louis Cardinals versus the Pittsburgh Pirates. Cardinals opening up as road favorites at minus 120. The Pirates plus 100 with the over-under at 8. Once again, don't know who's pitching for the Cardinals, so be sure to check that out when that info does get released. Pitching for the Pirates is Johan Oviedo with an ERA at 3.12. Yeah, St. Louis couple, on a 2-game losing streak against Pittsburgh here. And I think, St. Louis wants to close the season off on a high note. And we'll see who ends up pitching for the Cardinals here. But I'm going to take the Cardinals at home to bounce back on this little losing streak they're on. Yeah, all right. Next matchup, we got the Washington Nationals versus the New York Mets. Again, there's really no info on this game. The only info I have is that pitching for the Nationals is Eric Fedde with an ERA of 5.27. His last start, he pitched 5 innings, gave up 2 runs, had 3 strikeouts. Washington on a 4-game losing streak, losing to the Mets 8-0 and 4-2. 3-12 against the Mets. Yeah, I like the Mets to close the season out on a high note. Thought the Nationals could definitely at least cover the last 2 games, but I was definitely wrong here. We'll see who pitches for the Mets, but I'm going to take the Mets at home in this one. Next matchup, we got the San Francisco Giants versus the San Diego Padres. The only info I have on this entire matchup is that pitching for the Padres is Mike Clevenger. He's 7-7 with an ERA of 4.33. Giants on a 2-game losing streak against the Padres. Yeah, a lot of these games there's no info. I'm probably staying away from here. Giants on a 7-game losing streak against the Padres. We'll see who pitches for the Giants here, but I'm gonna lean with the Padres at home. They've been the way better head-to-head team here against the Giants. But we'll take a shot with Padres here. And then the last matchup, we got the Atlanta Braves versus the Miami Marlins. The only info I have on this matchup is that pitching for the Marlins is Eliezer Hernandez with an ERA of 6.33. Miami beating Atlanta 4-0 yesterday on a 3-game winning streak. But we'll see who pitches for the Braves, and I'm sure the Braves will be favorites here, but don't like Eliezer Hernandez on the mound. Has not been been that good this entire season here, and I think I'm gonna take the Braves on the road to close out the season. Yeah, that's gonna be it for the video, guys. Those 6 games, if anyone wants to post those lines or who's starting in the chat to help other people, that'd be super cool. It's just the last game of the season. I see this with a lot of times in sports. Last game, a lot of the lines aren't posted till way later, and a lot of undecided stuff, which I see, every year. So, yeah, hope you guys all cash out today. Good luck, and I'll see you tomorrow. Have a good one.